Hi everyone, I'm the whiskey enthusiast. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have the Benriach 12. Now I know there's a lot of reviews out there, some big names done it. Just recently, like 3 months ago, Wade from McIntyre's Malt's done it. And if you don't know Wade's channel, I would highly recommend you go watch his content. It's really cool. It's this guy from Australia. He does some really nice reviews. I really enjoy watching him. And he's really friendly. It's just nice to watch. You know, it's one of the channels I'm loving it right now. So I highly recommend it. Wade at McIntyre's Malt. And apparently this Benriach 12, this is not the smoky, mind you. This is the normal 12. Is dividing people. I don't know. Rolfie apparently doesn't like it. Not apparently. I watched this video. Doesn't like it that much. Jeff from G Whiskey kind of liked it. You know, people try it and people are divided by it. I personally like it, but recently I've been watching these reviews and there we go. And I'm hearing this divide and I said, I need to revisit this because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not supposed to like it, or maybe it's not as good as I remember it. Now, what is Benriach 12? I'll just show you the bottle. There you go. It is a Speyside single malt. I've done a Benriach before. I did the Smoky 10. I'll put the link right up there. You can watch it if you want. It was one of my earlier reviews. I was very keen on it. This one is 3 cask matured. 3 cask maturation in sherry, bourbon, and portwood for rich smoothness. 12 years. It gives a lot of information on here. Maturation: sherry cask, bourbon cask, port cask. Nose: maple, honey, cocoa, forest fruits. Smoke level: nil. Palate: maraschino cherries, maraschino cherries, baked orange, hazelnut, spiced mocha, and master blender Rachel Barry. It's a marriage of 3 different casks aged at least 12 years of age. And people say it benefits from some air and some water. Now, it is open, this bottle, so it is aired. And I brought my water here. It is 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, non-color added. So we're happy with that. Let's dive in, shall we? Right. Weird, because initially I got a little bit of a smoke, but that might be a char level on one of the bourbon barrels. Not one of the bourbon barrels, yeah. So, what do I get? I get sherry sweetness. I bet there's some Oloroso in here, because I feel that little bit of a synthetic note, which I get from Oloroso sherry casks. I hate Oloroso. This is not dominating, so it's fine. Then I get the classic vanilla, caramel, burnt sugars. That's from bourbon. And I get a little bit of a sour note. That's also probably the Oloroso. And underneath it all, some chocolate and fresh red berries. That would be the port. Now, if you didn't tell me what it was, I might have said it's sherry and bourbon, or port and bourbon. But I think they're doing pretty good jobs together. What am I supposed to smell? Maple, honey, cocoa, forest fruits. Forest fruits I got, cocoa I got. Yeah, I mean, maple you get from bourbon. It's kind of given, isn't it? Okay, people say there's a vinegary smell to this. And I can see what they mean, but for me that's always the Oloroso sherry cask and some maybe port sweetness. Because port is... It's not like vinegar, but if you ever had port, if you ever had bad port, you might feel like, oh yeah, it does feel like vinegar. So maybe it is the port. Let's go dive on the palate. I'm happy. It's good. It feels hotter than 46. Also, that's, I think, the common trait here. But it's sweet without being overpowering. I think the port's salty notes balance out sherry sweetness and bourbon barrels char level to that, combined with the caramel and honey, is making it very very agreeable to me. It's not over sweet. It is a robust one. The finish is maple, chocolate, roasted nuts, all together. Now, one of the negative points people say, they say the 3 casks are all separable. You can separate the 3 casks, which I don't think it's a negative point. I think if you're using that many casks, might as well fill them, right? I would. That would be my. Not break this glass at some point. Sorry. That would be my preference, to feel the 3 casks. Otherwise, if it's too harmonious, everything going together, which you might enjoy, but then you can say, well, I don't feel the effects. Anyway, let's go. I do get that vinegary taste. Okay, let's get some water. Now, the thing with water is, always use room temperature. Never use cold water, because, you know, as with ice, if you're doing tastings, cold water dulls the senses. It slows down the fatty acids and oils in the whiskey, so you'll get less, and it'll numb your mouth as well if it's very cold. So this room temperature, and with water, find your sweet spot. I generally put around to this much, about 10 to 15 drops. Yeah. And then a little bit. See if it opens up at all. Always find that sweet spot, play around with it. Okay, all right. Yeah, it helped on the palate, definitely. It was way too hot on the palate, and because of the heat levels, you couldn't actually taste that much complications. Well, not complications, but nuances. It didn't help on the nose. I preferred the nose previously unhindered, you know, without the water, but it definitely helped with the palate. Yeah, I get much more sweet notes, roasted nuts, baking spices, honey, caramel, chocolate, molasses. Oh, it'll help to finish as well. Okay, I agree with guys. I think it does benefit from some water. 46% normally you don't put some water in there, but I think this one definitely benefits from, especially the palate and the finish. The nose, I preferred it previously. Now, I have a guest appearance because it is the same sherry cask combination. I have done this one before. It is the Dalmore Trio. Now, I will put the link up there again, just so you can see. I'm putting it here, and where's my Dalmore? It's here. It's the same combination. This one has Methuselah sherry cask. We don't know what sherry cask this is, and this one has Tawny port. We don't know which port this is, but the combination is the same. Obviously, percentages will be different. Now, Dalmore is 40% ABV, so we don't need to add any water to this. I'm just going to do a comparison. This probably right now is around 44, 43. I don't know. I don't have that machine. But let's compare, shall we? Just a quick dive in, see which is the best buy. Okay. So on the nose, it's velvet. It's beautiful. Now, you can, on this nose, when I first said you could separate the 3 casks, on this one you can. So maybe Ralphie would enjoy this one more. This one is very harmonious. It's beautifully balanced, super playing well together, all the casks. Yeah, you get all the sweetness, a little bit of a salty note, roasted nuts are there, caramel and maple are there. I mean, I've done the review, so watch it there, but I prefer the nose on this one to this one, even without the water. Funny, I got a little bit of an orange juice note, which I don't remember getting it on my previous review. Now after this, it just felt watered down and a bit weak, and that's what 40% does to you. I think Dalmore Trio is best enjoyed in an afternoon. If you don't expect too much, you just want a nice tasting dram, don't need to think about it. It's really nice, really enjoyable. Whereas this one, you need to spend a bit more time. It's one of those dissecting malts. You can just enjoy it on its own, but I think it needs a little bit of attention. It craves it, and you will be the winner after that, giving that attention to this one. It is good. It is good. Of course, there's a big price difference. Dalmore is double the price of Benriach to 12 and non-age stated, and 40% ABV, and chill filtered, and caramel colorated. So I think between the two, I would pick the Benriach 12 just because of its bang for buck, value for money. And what would I recommend? Benriach 12. You know what? I'm going to recommend it 3 Glencairns out of 3. I'm going to recommend 3 Glencairns out of 3 because it's affordable. It's a decent malt. 3 casks work well. 8 stated. It's good. And, it's one of those things that you can spend time with. It's not going to finish so quickly, but that's a good thing with the prices rising up. So I would recommend 3 Glencairns out of 3 to Benriach 12. Go ahead and get it. I think you'll enjoy it. Guys, that's it from me. Thank you. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like down below. Let me know if you like the Benriach 12. Do you compare these two? Which one would you prefer? And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I love it. Thank you. It makes me really, really happy. And if you want, go check my Instagram account @thewhiskyenthusiast. See you next time. Cheers.